Hey guys, welcome to this part 1 of the Python course. Okay, so in this Python course, I will going to teach you each and everything from the scratch. So even if you're a person who don't know anything about the Python, let's say you are from, let's say, medical field, okay, and you don't know anything about Python and all. So this is the exactly the course you need to watch. If you're from any non-tech background field, okay, and if you want to jump to the Python, okay, to learn, because Python nowadays is useful for everywhere, whether if you want to do automations, okay, or let's say you want to go in the field of data science, okay, or maybe you want to go in the field of machine learning, AI. So everywhere Python is now getting very much important. So it's important to learn Python. Okay, so we will going to teach you each and everything from scratch, from what is Python, interpreter, data types, ID, variables. We will even teach you how to set up Python interpreter and IDE, that is the Visual Studio Code where we will going to work, and plenty of things like what is list, operators, and we will going to go each and every of the topics step by step without any struggle. Okay, so you will going to learn each and everything practically, everything from scratch, and I will going to give you with various examples so you will understand the various concept like what is f string, input, operators, type, list, conversion data, and many more. So this is just the part 1 of the Python course. Okay, if you just go ahead and follow along, so you will see all the parts, but this is the part 1 which you will need to watch right now. Okay, so make sure that you watch this complete free course. And the best thing is that we will also going to provide you with the notes. So whatever we have taught, so those notes will be provided to you for free. Okay, so you can always come here and check out the notes. Okay, this will going to give you help, or I can say help you to memorize the things very easily. So make sure that you watch the complete free course from starting to end. Okay guys, so let's start with the Python free course. Okay, so the very first thing which I will going to teach you is about Python. Okay, so Python is nothing, it's a sort of a programming language. So what is Python? It's nothing, it's just a programming language. Okay, now it's very much important to understand what is programming. Okay, so before that I just want to tell you about computer. So you all know what is computer. Okay, so you all might have PC, Mac, whatever computer system you have. So guys, with the help of this computer, which you can also see in the image, okay, so these computers can help you to build anything, whether let's say it's a website, let's say it's a Apple's website, okay, or let's say maybe if you go to, let's say, our website, that is the kukucourses.com. So okay, so any type of a website, or let's say any type of a application, let's say you want to create, let's say, some video editor software, some web browser, okay, or anything. Okay, or maybe let's say you want to create a robot. Okay, you want to create a, let's say, AI robot, anything, okay, who can just do the work. Maybe you might have seen AI robot in the factory as well. Okay, in factories, okay, this AI robot works. So all of these robots or anything works on the basis of the computers. So your computers can help you to build anything, whether it's a website, application, robot, or anything. Okay, so computer is something which is very much important. Okay, so this is the computer. Now guys, to build anything, okay, you all know that computer can help us to build anything, whether let's say it's an application, website, or anything. Computer can help you with anything. So you just need to give the instructions, okay, and these instructions are in the form of a code. Okay, so this is what it is known as programming. Programming means we give instructions, it is in the form of a code given to computer, and you can give the instruction whatever you want to create, and that is what it is known as programming. Okay, very simple, nothing complicated. Now guys, we will going to understand what is interpreter. Now before you understand the interpreter, it is very much important for you to understand what is binary code. Okay, so here you guys can see we have something known as binary code. So binary code looks like this, okay, and I think you will not basically be able to understand this language, okay. So this is the language which only computers, okay, whatever computer you are using, so only computers can understand this binary code language, okay. So let's say if you will going to tell your computer hello world, okay, in English, so your computers cannot understand that directly. So because of that we use interpreter. So it's like a medium, okay. So whatever you will going to type, let's say in the human language, okay, whether it's in English, Japan, okay, or any sort of a language, so that will be converted, okay, with the help of interpreter into a binary code, okay, binary code which computers can understand, okay. So what I mean to say is that your computers cannot understand your language directly, okay. So first you need to convert your language into a binary code, okay. So that is possible with the help of interpreter. So whenever you type anything, okay, as a code, so that will be converted into a binary code using interpreter, and then it will be sent to the computer. Then your computer can understand what you want to say or what instruction you are giving to the computer. So this is what it is known as interpreter. It convert the code into binary code so that your computer can understand your instruction, and that is what the programming is all about. Programming means you just give the instructions to computer in the form of a code, but when you write the code it will not going to understand it directly, okay. First it will be converted into binary code using interpreter, then only your instructions can be understood or can be understand by the computer, okay. So that is the concept of interpreter, okay. Now guys, we will go ahead and install the interpreter, okay, that can help us to convert the code into binary code which computers can understand, okay. So let's go ahead and install the Python interpreter. By the way, you will going to notice that I'm using the Mac version, okay. Mac is the main computer I have, but even though I have a Mac, but still I'm able to use Windows, and that is possible using the parallel desktop. So I will going to attach a link, or you can also see this in the screen. Just type this URL, my dash link.in, okay, everything in small slash parallel, okay, everything is small. Click on enter button. I will also going to attach the link below, so you can just click on that link and you can come to the software. So this will help you to run your Windows, okay, on your Mac, okay. Not only Windows, you can even run Linux, Windows and other operating systems on your Mac. That is possible using parallels. So you can also grab a deal, just click on buy now, okay, and you can also purchase a one-time purchase, okay, as well. As per your country, you will see the currency. So it's showing me in rupees because I'm from India, but in case let's say you're from United States, so it will show you in dollars. But whatever it is, make sure that you grab a deal, okay. So in this way you will be able to run Windows on your Mac, okay. So this has plenty of benefits. Even though I have a Mac and I have a very powerful system, you can see I have a very powerful system, but still in my past experience I have found that Windows are actually better, okay, for your Python learning and programming learning, okay. And it doesn't matter, okay, even though you're using Mac, Windows, Linux, your interpreter can be installed in any operating system, but in Windows it will be more easy for you and very easy and convenient to use, okay. So make sure that you grab a deal if possible, if you have money, okay, grab a deal and install it, and then automatically it will automatically in a click you can run the Windows on your Mac as well, okay. Very simple and straightforward it is. Now let's just go to your browser and let's install the interpreter. So just open any browser, just go and search for Python, click on enter, go to this first link, that is the python.org, okay. You can see here welcome to python.org. Then just go to the download folder here and you will see the download Python option. Whatever version you will going to see, okay, you can install it. So currently when I'm recording the lecture it's 3.13.4, okay, but in your case whatever version you will going to have in the latest, you need to install that, okay. So just click on the install button and you will be able to see that it is start to get installed on your system. And amazing. And after it's done, you can just simply open it or double click on it. Okay, and then you will going to see this is how it will look. And in case if you try to install this in the let's say Mac, here as well same system, you will going to see Python. Okay, go to welcome to Python, just go to download, and for the Mac OS it's showing you to download. Okay, it doesn't matter, but I suggest you highly to go with the parallels. Okay, if you're running on Mac, okay, it will really going to help you out. Okay, by the way, if you tap here, so make sure if you are in the Windows, okay, Python for Windows, so make sure you see these two options, make sure you tick mark them. Okay, and after you tick mark them, okay, it's very important, okay, for the window users. In Mac it will directly going to install, but in Windows you just have to tick mark both of them, very much important. And after that you just have to click on install now, click on yes, and you will going to see each and everything will going to get installed on your system, okay, in your Python. Okay, so let's wait for it to get installed. Okay, and let's wait for the setup. After this, you can see, you will see something like this. So just close it, and in this way you have successfully installed the interpreter on your system. If you want to see if Python interpreter is successfully installed or not, so what you can do is that on your Windows you can just right click and go to the terminal, and here you can just go ahead and write Python is in small, click on enter, and you can see Python version is installed for me, and this was the version which I have got here. Okay, this means Python has been successfully installed on the system. Same thing you can do on your Mac. If you have a Mac, just go to terminal, okay, and make sure you do the same thing. Okay, it will going to give you the idea that Python is installed successfully or not. And the best part is that when you use the tools like parallels if on the Mac, so another benefit is that you can always move or create the snapshot. Okay, so at this point you can create a sort of a snapshot. Okay, so if you see here, I created a snapshot with the fresh window install. Okay, so as I am teacher, so I can always go back to the fresh window install, so very much helpful for me. And same for the as a developer purpose as well, it's very much helpful if you have a Mac, so you will going to get lots of opportunity. But for now we have installed the interpreter. Okay, and I again suggest to use Windows as well, use the parallels. Okay, the best thing you can do if you are on a Mac. If you're already using Windows, everything is good to go for you. After installing the interpreter, now you all know that we need to give the instructions, okay, to the computer. So where we will going to give the instruction? So for that guys, we need to also install IDE. Okay, so IDE will going to help you to write the code. Okay, now in the market there are plenty of options to write the code. Okay, but very popular we will going to use is the Visual Studio Code. So again, just go to browser and just search for VS Code, click on enter, go to this link, Visual Studio Code, just go to this first link. Okay, and from here automatically it will going to detect whether you are using Mac or Windows. Okay, you can just go ahead, click on download for Windows, and automatically you will see that it will start to download for your system. Okay, so let's wait for the system to install this particular application, which is a IDE that will help you to write the code. Okay, very simply without any problem. Okay, and you can see it's done. Now simply tap on it, let's minimize it, and you can see I click on I accept the agreement. Make sure that you just scroll it down like this, click on next, and make sure you select the default, make sure click on next, and here just make sure that you tick mark all the 4 options, which is very much important. Okay, make sure you tick mark all the options in Mac. As I have told you, it will automatically going to install. For example, if you search for Visual Studio Code, same thing, it can now able to detect your downloading for the Mac OS. Okay, and nothing to do in the Mac, but for the Windows just select all of them and then click on the next button, click on the install. Okay, and you can see that it is preparing to install. Just wait for a few seconds so that it get installed on your system without any problem. Okay, so it's done almost. Boom, you can see it's done. Click on finish, and you can see this is how your Visual Studio Code looks. Even though if you haven't seen it, you can just go to your system and just search for Visual Studio Code. Again, it will going to open like this. And same for the Mac users, you can just go to Launchpad, and here just search for Visual Studio Code. After, you will going to install it. Okay, and this is how it will look. Now do not worry about how it looks. Okay, you can just cross this path, and this is how it looks. Okay, in general. Now at the top you can see the file explorer. Okay, and second one is the search, and the third one is important, is the extension. This is where you can install plenty of extensions. Like for example, we are now want to write the code for the Python, so we will going to install Python first. Then you can see it's very top and very popular. In case you don't see, just search for Python, and you will see at the top, search here by Microsoft, tap here, and notice Python by Microsoft. You make sure that you install the official one by Microsoft. Click on install, and automatically it will going to install each and everything for you. So without any struggle, it will be easy for you to install the Python straight on your system. Okay, nothing complicated over here. And boom, you can see it's done. Just cross it. Now after this, just go here in the file explorer. Now it's showing, it's telling you to open the folder. Okay, so you can just create any folder anywhere on your system. Let's say I create one in the desktop. Right click, go to new, go to folder. Let's say I write it as a Python. Okay, whatever name you want to, you can write that. Click on enter. Just go to your Visual Studio Code and just open the folder. Select the desktop. This is the Python one. Select it, and this Python folder will be open. Click on yes, I trust the author, and boom. Now the best thing about Visual Studio Code is that, let's say right now, if you will going to notice, Python folder is empty. You can see folder is empty as you have connected your Visual Studio Code here. So let's say if you click on this plus 5, and here let's say if you write main.py. Now why py? Py is the extension of Python. Okay, like you might have heard about some images. Okay, so every image has .png, .jpg. Let's say if you want to install some sort of let's say PDF. Let's say this is a PDF file, so it's written as .pdf, right? So similarly for Python, we have .py. So whatever file you create, so make sure at the end add .py, and this is how it will be created for you. You can select the file main.py, and if you will now going to notice here, go to Python folder, you can see main.py Python file is created for you. And I always suggest you guys that whenever you do this, just go to the file, okay, here, and from here scroll down and select to auto save. So whenever you write some code, you want it to be saved automatically, so that whatever project we are working on, we don't lose. Okay, maybe sometimes it may get crash or some situation can happen, so manually saving can be problematic. So make sure that from the file, click on the auto save, so whatever you do, it will get auto save on the system. That's it. And this is how we can set up the IDE that help us to write the code. And this code, like hello world, whatever you want to write, okay, you can write using this IDE. Now whatever code you will going to write, so this code will get transferred inside the interpreter which we have already installed, the Python interpreter. So it will convert whatever we write, okay, into binary code, and it will send that to the computer, so computer can understand what instructions we are trying to give to the computer. Now guys, we will going to understand about data types. So data in Python, there are plenty of data types like text, numbers, decimal, and options types of a data. So in Python, text is called as string, string. Numbers are called as integers, integer. Decimal is called as floats, floats, and options are known as boolean. Okay, if we talk about the symbol, so we use it str. Okay, S for sun, T for travel, and R for Russia, str. Integer in symbol we say it as a int. Okay, I for India, N for nexus, T for let's say travel. Okay, so int in short. And float are written as float. Boolean is written as bool. Okay, so like true and false type of a data, okay, yes or no type of a data, that are known as options, so we say it as a bool, bool. Okay, so this is what it is. And in Python, always remember that when we are talking about some text, okay, so it will always be written in the quotes. Like let's say you have written K or any text, it will be always written inside the quotes. Okay, always remember. Now let's write the first Python code. Now let's say I want to write Kunal, so I will just going to write here Kunal. Kunal is my name, by the way. Okay, let me make it to the full screen and let me write here Kunal. Okay, so you can see I have written the number, the text, and this text will be considered as a string. And always remember that whenever you write the string, so whenever you write the text, always put the quotes, and inside the quotes you can write Kunal. Now you can see it's not showing problem, but if you write here Kunal, so this is the problem it will show. You can see Kunal, and you can see at the top it is showing in the yellow color, right? So this is the benefit of IDE. Okay, Visual Studio Code will tell you what error you are doing, so you can see reason is showing the problem. Okay, and you can also write the numbers. For example, let's say my age is 24. Okay, and let's say some sort of a decimal number as well. For example, let's say decimal number, you can write like this. Uh, let's say if I talk about my weight, so my weight is let's say 59.7 something. And am I married? Let's say false, like this. So here what you have noticed, you have text data as a Kunal, which is surrounded by the quotes, and this is what you have to remember. Okay, in Python, whatever text you write, it should be inside the quotes. The numbers, which is called as integers, in short we say it as a int. Okay, and text will be considered as a str. Decimal, which is a decimal data, which is known as floats, you can see you can also write that. And another one is the option, that is the boolean type of a data. Okay, we short in symbol we say as a bool, which is like true and false, right? So this is how you can write something. Now how you can print something, that means how you can run some application. Now let's say I want to run Kunal, so I will going to use this print. And now whatever you have in the okay, you just have to write like this, print, open the brackets, and whatever you have you can just write like this. For example, I will write here Kunal. Okay, like this. And when you take your cursor to the top here, at here you will see the run Python file. If you click on it, you will see your application will run and it will going to print Kunal. So print is basically helpful to run your application, and how the outcome will going to look like, so that will be shown in the bottom in the terminal, okay, on your system, like this. Let's say I also want to print, let's say my age, so I will again going to write print, and let's say my age is 24. Okay, run the application again. Now you can see Kunal, then 24. Why printed the Kunal again? Because here you can see Kunal is still here. Okay, and then you have 24. And if you want to make it empty, so you can just write here in the terminal clear, clear, click on enter. So again it will going to get clean. Now similarly, let's say I want to write my weight. My weight is, let's say, 59.7. Am I married? I will write it inside the print, let's say false. Now if you run the application again, you can see whatever you write here all will be printed here. So this is what the data types are in the Python. Okay, now guys, we will going to talk about variables in Python. So variable is nothing, it's basically sort of a storage. Okay, variable is nothing, just a storage. Okay, so that we can store the data inside it. So you all know we have various type of a data. Okay, like we have a text, numbers, decimal, options. So you can imagine variable is sort of a storage, like a cup. You have seen the cup. Okay, so in the cup what we can do is that we can store the juice. You can see this a cup, we can store the juice inside it. Okay, so cup is like a storage where you can store juice, or let's say we can store the water as well inside the cup. You can see this is a cup, and inside this you have store the water, right? So similarly in Python, this cup is nothing known as variable, so they are like a storage. And in Python, variables means storage, and inside this variable we store different types of a data, whether this data could be in the form of a text, number, okay, or let's say decimals, or let's say some boolean data like options, true and false. Okay, so this is what the variable is all about. It's nothing, just a storage, and you can create as many as variables. Suppose if I just remove all this thing, okay, now let's say I create a variable, let's say name. Okay, okay, you can write like this, okay, name. So you have created a empty variable, okay, like a cup, and you have named that as a variable. Okay, the name of this variable is name. And let's say inside this you can write like this, equals to means inside this, let's say I want to store my name, and my name is text, so I will put that in the quotes. Suppose like this, my name is Kunal, like this. I will create a new variable, let's say where I want to store my age. Okay, so let's say I create a variable, and the name of the variable I will keep it as a age, and inside this let's say I want to put my age, which is 24. Simple, easy, nothing complicated. Let's say I want to create one more variable, and I want to keep the name of my variable is, let's say, weight, and inside this I will going to store decimal type of a data, let's say 59.7, like this. And then I can also add a new variable where I can say am I married or not. So for that what you need to do is that you have to write like this, am I married. Now you will going to notice Python doesn't allow space, so you can write like this, you can write like this. Okay, you can just put underscore, like m then underscore, okay, like this, m then I underscore, then you can write like this, am I married, equals to, so this is one variable I created, am I married is one variable I created, and I will going to say false, no I am not married, like this. So you can see this name, age, weight, am I married, these are all variables, and inside these variables I have stored different type of data. Like in the name variable I stored text data, which is in the course. In age variable I stored 24 as a number, and which is the integers in Python. And weight, in this variable I store 59.7, which is a decimal. In Python we say it as a float. And another one is am I married. Okay, so here in this variable I store boolean data, which is a false. Very simple, easy, nothing complicated. Now one more thing I want to teach you is that after you write the variable, you can print this variable as well, storage. Okay, so let's say you want to know that what we have inside this storage, so you can print that as well. Like again, write like this, print. Earlier we were using the text, but this time you just have to put the name. For example, let's say name. Okay, like this. And let's say similarly I will just going to print, let's say age, like this, print. Then another one we have here is the weight, so I will just going to we. Okay, automatically it will suggest weight. Okay, like this. And let's say print, and let's say last one is am I married. So even if I write am I, so it will automatically say am I married is available here. Let's say if I run it, you can see it will print Kunal 24, 59.7 and false. So this is how the variable works, and hope you guys have understood how you can write the variable and what is the concept of variable. Now one more thing which I want to tell you is very much important. See, Python is case sensitive. That means right now we have written the name as a Kunal. Okay, suppose I can write one more name where I use N as a capital letter, and let's say here, let's say I write, let's say my wife name. Okay, let's say my girlfriend name, let's say Sonia. like this. Okay, like this. Now just notice here, if I clear it, and instead of here if I write N as a capital, now you will see it will print Sonia here, not Kunal. So always remember Python is case sensitive. So make sure that whatever you are using, whether small or capital, it will going to treat them different. Even though both are name, but it is treating them different. Okay. So take care about that as well. Okay. Guys, you can also know that which type of a data type it is. Okay. So suppose if I just go ahead, let's create let's say new file. Okay. And this time let me just write here type dot py. Okay, so let's say I want to know what is the type of any particular element. For example, let's say if I copy this name one, if I go here, and let's say if I want to know what is the type of it. Okay, so I will just going to use type function. Okay, like this, select it, open the brackets, and inside this if you want to know what is the name. Okay, that means inside the name whatever value that is stored, what is the type, what is the data type, whether it's a text, number, decimal, options. Let's do this, and let's first clear it like this, click on enter, let's run the application. It will show nothing. Why? Because to show anything you need to use print. Okay, so what you can do is that in the front, okay, wait, let me show you. In you can do this thing in two ways. Okay, the very first way is to write like this. Okay, what is, let's say, underscore type. Okay, equals to, let's say, you can just put it, let's say, type and name. Okay, so basically you have to store the what is the type, okay, inside a particular variable, and this time you can just print, let's say, what is type, like this. And if you run it, so you can say it will say that name, which is this Kunal, is basically a string, that is text. Okay, so you can see str, it is showing here, you can see str. Okay, which shows this data type is of the string. Another thing is that you can also do this in the most easiest way is that what you can do is that you can also show it like this. For example, first you can just write type, then name, very simple. But you can put this inside print. Okay, so you all know how to write print. Just put the brackets and whatever you have here, just copy this and paste it here like this, and now you can remove this one. Simple, very easy. Let's run it again, it will show you the string. So these are the two ways you can print the data type. Now let's say if I want to know for, let's say, the weight, what is the weight data type. Okay, so I will just copy this and let me just paste it here. I can again copy it and paste it to new line, and this time I will copy the weight here. Okay, like this. Let's run it. So you can say weight 59.7. okay, this is a decimal, and I told you that decimal data type is known as float in Python, and this is what it has said. You can see float. First is the string, because this first one is the string and second one is the float, and this is what it has printed over here, float. Okay, same you can do for the other elements as well. For example, if I copy all of them here, wait, let me just paste it over here like this. Okay, now let me just copy for, let's say, each and every one. For example, let me just copy it. First is the name. Okay, then let's say, let me just take the age here. Third one is the weight, and let's say boolean type of a data. Now if you will going to notice, let's run the application again. Now first one is the string data, second is int, because age is what, age is a number. Wait, let me just remove this one. Okay, so age is what, it's a number, and I told you that number are basically known as integer, which is denoted with int. So you can see the second one is showing int because age is a number. Third one is the decimal, which is known as float, and the fourth one is boolean type of a data, like a true and false. So this is known as bool. Okay, so this is how it show bool. Okay, that is it is a boolean type of a data. So using the type function you can know what is the type of any particular data. Okay, now guys, how you can ask question to anyone, okay, in Python. So let's create a new file. I will click on this plus file, and let's say I want to ask about input.py. That means I want to ask questions to the users. For example, there can be possibility that I want to ask what is the name of any particular person. Okay, so let's say if I write here name, and let's say I want to ask user what is their name, what is their name, question mark. So if you want to ask something, so in that case we use the input function. Now let's see how it works. Okay, so for example, to use input function you can just use inp, and it will show you like this. Open the bracket like this, and you can ask it whatever you want. Now I can ask what is your name, question mark. Now you can see it's showing error. Why? Because I thought you remember whatever the text it will be always in the quotes. So I will just going to put it inside the quotes. Let's say I will put one quote here and one last one here. It will solve. Now let's run the application. You can see it's asking what is your name. So for example, if I write here Kunal, click on enter like this. And let's say if you put here extra space, so it will going to improve more. If I run it again, you can see now I'm getting good space here as well. Okay, so this is the input function. Now question arises is that let's say I want to know that what user has typed. Okay, so what I can do is that I can just write here print, let's say name, simple. Now let's say if I clear it up, let's say if I run the application with, if I run the application, let's say this time I want to write, let's say John, John, John is your name. Click on enter. Now you can see John is the John. This is what the question was. So John has got the answer. So John value has been allotted to the name. Now name is equals to John. Okay. So this is how you can ask user about their input. You can ask more things. Let's say for example, let's say fruit. I create a variable, let's say fruit. Let's say equals to, I can write like this, input. Let's say I can again put in the bracket, what is your favorite fruit, like this, question mark, give little bit of a space like this. Let's clear it up again. Let's run the application. Now you can see what is your name. So first it is showing name because it is at the top. So Python always works from top to bottom. Okay, so that's the reason it has asked the name. So for example, let's say name, I can write, let's say Maya. Click on enter. What is your favorite fruit? Let's say apple. But the Python has stopped. Okay, but it has stored the value. For example, my name equals to Maya has been allotted, and fruits equals to apple has been allotted. By the way, if you want to see it, so you can just print both of them. For example, let's say print name, print fruit. Okay, like this. And if you run the application again, let's run it. This time let's say name is, let's say Ajay. Okay, like this. Click on enter. What is the favorite fruit of Ajay? Let's say it's banana. Click on enter. Now you can see Ajay is the name, banana. And let's say you want to stop. Okay, let's say you do not want to print the name one. So you can either delete it, okay, like this. So it will not going to print. Otherwise, we have one more thing is that we can use the command. For example, you can put hash. Okay, wait. You can just do one thing is put hash, and in the front of it you can just write like this. So this will command, that means comment. Okay, it will not going to print. If you clear it up, run the application again. This time it's Maya. Favorite fruit is, let's say, apple. So you can see, only apple got printed because this one we have comment, it will not run, but fruits will going to run, and this is what it has printed. Is it possible now to convert any data into different type? For example, can you convert decimal to number, or maybe number to decimal, or text to number? That is possible. And why it is important, let me show you how. So when we talk about the conversion, okay, of data, conversion of data.py, I created one file. So sometimes what happen, guys, we let's say write amount, okay, I create a variable as amount, okay, and sometimes what we do is that we just write the amount. For example, let's say it's $200 dot 00. So Python what understand is that it understand this data, okay. Suppose if I just try, let me first clear it up. Python try to understand the data. So I taught you that you can use print, okay, and here you can just put the type. So for example, let's say if you want to see the type of this amount, so whatever you have, you just copy this part and put it inside the print like this. Let's run the application. You can see Python is treating this as a decimal because it has put dot here, so it has stated that as a float. So this is what the problem can be. So to avoid this, what we guys can do is that we can use some conversions, okay. So what I can do is that I can just put this inside the brackets like this, and here what I can do is that I can add the symbol, okay. Let's say I want this amount to be treated as a number, okay. So I taught you that for numbers you can use this symbol int, okay. So just write here in front of it int like this, okay. So now automatically this will be treated as a number. So if you run it again, you can see now it has treated that as a number. This is very important. So you can easily convert any data into different type, okay. Sometimes what happen is that, let's say if someone's write their weight, okay, weight, let's say they just write that in the form of, let's say whatever it is, let's say 89.5 could be someone's weight, okay. Now let's say you want to convert that into let's say, or let's say there could be situation, okay, where you want to treat this as a decimal maybe, okay. So how you can do that, okay. So for example, let's say if we have this number here, so I will just going to print, okay. If you see the type of it, so you can write like this, type weight like this, copy this part, put it inside the weight, okay. Let's run it. So it is treating that as a number, but if you can convert this into, let's say, decimal. So for that you can use this float, okay. So for decimal you can use the symbol float. So just type float, everything in small, okay. Run the application. Now you can see it is treating that as a decimal, not a number. So this is how you can use and change the data type using the symbols, okay. Now sometimes, guys, what happen is that let's say if we just try to create some situation, you all have understood what is the input, right? So let's say we create and ask someone about their age, okay. Let's say we can put, let's say, input here, and we can say what's your age, question mark. Let's clear it up. Let's run the application. You can see if I add 60, so this is how it works. Now let's say if I print the age, okay. Let's run it again. Let's say this time I put here, let's say 30, so age will be printed as a 30, okay. But problem is something very unique. Now if you will see that this age, what is the type of this age, okay. So to find that out, what we can do is that we can just put like this. Okay, for example, let's say I can put here, let's say type. Okay, or you can just do one thing is the print. Okay, and you can just write here type, let's say in age, like this. So I want to know that what is the age of that particular item. Okay, let's clear it. And if you run it again, and let's say if someone's type, let's say number, let's say 50, so you can see here number is 50. We all know that this is a number, but Python is treating that as a string. So here you can see it's showing that 50 is like a string, str. Str means Python is treating that as a text. Okay, string text. So this is a problem because we know that okay, numbers can always be in the integers, that is the in the numbers. Okay, so sometimes it is important to convert the data. So what we can do in this type is again very simple. What you can do is that, like we have taught you in the conversion, okay, at the very outside, okay, at the brackets like this, and at the very front you can just write, let's say treat that as an integer, that is the number. Okay, so I converted this into a number. You just need to put the bracket in the start of the element and outside of the element. And now if you will run it again, let's say I write 80. Okay, click on enter. You can see now 80 is treated as an integer, that is the number. So this is very much important for you to understand that you can also convert the data into different types. And like I have shown you with the real example, Python was already earlier it was treating age as a string. So sometimes it is very much important to apply the data conversion concept to convert any data into different type. Okay, and this is the real practical example I showed you. Age is always treated as a number. So so earlier Python was treating that as a string, the text, but we have forced Python to treat that as a number. So we just add int at very outside of it. Okay, and then it started to work and treated this as an integer, and it is the value, right? So this is how simple it is. And sometimes let's say we even ask, okay, for example, this is one example. Okay, let's say sometimes we can ask about salary of any person. Okay, so let's say if I just write here input, and let's say if I just write here, let's say what is your salary. Okay, like this, enter your salary. Or I can just write here, let's say enter your salary, like this, enter your salary. Okay, let me clear it up and make sure that you also print the salary as well. Okay, and also you guys also make sure that you also see what is the type of the salary. That means what is the salary type. That means whatever the user will going to put the value, okay, whatever salary the user will going to have, so what should be the type of it. Let's run it. If I run it, and let's say if someone can, let's say, add like this, let's say 53, let's say $5,302. Let's run it again. You can see it's salary, it has been added, and again Python is treating that as a string, the text, which is a problem. Because generally speaking, let's say if you see here the, let's say, salary data. Okay, so whenever you see it, okay, let's say anywhere, if you just go to images, okay, so generally speaking what we have the data is always in the in the text and all. We have the data in the sort of a points with in the balance sheet. Okay, okay, it's not showing here, but this is how it happens. Okay, with okay, it's not treating showing that example as anywhere. So generally we write the amount in the form of decimals. Okay, or it can be the numbers as well. So let's say if I want to convert this, force, or I can say I want to force Python to treat that as a float. Okay, so you to convert it into a float, that means in the decimal, so you will use float. So again at the top add the brackets in the front and the end. Okay, so I will just going to add the bracket in front and also at the back, and whatever you want. Let's say if you want to treat that as a float, just write the float. Let's clear it up. Let's run the application. This time let's say if I add, let's say $300, so you can see 300.0 and it has stated as a float. Now let's say you can even make it and convert that into an integer, int. Okay, so for example let's say int, and if I just run it, okay, and let's say I again go with the salary, let's say 499. So now this time it has stated that as an integer. So in this way you can just convert any data into different type, okay, which is something very much important. And sometimes we can also say it like this, okay, enter your salary, let's say in Word. Okay, so in that case by default it will always be in the string. So in that case if someone will type in Word, so it will automatically be converted into, or I can say it will already be going to treat it as a string. So you don't have to convert it because by default it will be treated as a string. So you need to convert that into, let's say, either into numbers using int or decimals using, let's say, float. And you can also go with the boolean, which is very rare, but this is how you can do the data conversion. Okay guys, we will go with the new concept. Let's say f string. Okay, f string.py. So this is a new concept. Let's say here, let's say if I write the name, let's say equals to, let's say, Rohan, and let's say age, let's say I will say, let's say Rohan age is, let's say 60. Okay, so now what you can do is that if you clear it up first, let's clear it. Okay, so what you can do is that you can print like this, print name. Also you can do one thing is that you can put the comma, and here also you can write it like this. Either you can use like this, print name or age. If you will do like this, so in one line it will going to print like this. Wait, if you do like this, okay, you can see we have already learned it like this, Rohan and age is 60. But instead of creating multiple lines, you can do like this, comma, let's say age, like this. And if you run it, you can see it will be Rohan 60. But people will not be able to understand what is 60. Okay, so in this case we use the f strings to make the text dynamic. For example, let's say if I remove the thing, okay, let's say I want something like this. I want that in the text it should be like this, my name is, and then whatever the name will be, okay, of the user. Let's say it's Rohan, so I want like this. Okay, let's say Rohan, my name is Rohan, and my age is, let's say 60. I want something like this to happen. Okay, so if you copy this like this and paste it inside the print, okay, and if you run it, so you can see it will print exactly like this. Okay, wait, let me remove it. And even if you run it, you can see it will print like this, my name is Rohan and my age is 60. But let's say if I make it dynamic, suppose in the place of Rohan, let's say I say, let's say Imran, like this, and Imran age is, let's say maybe 40. But again if you try to run it, again it will show that my name is Rohan, earlier data. So I want to make it dynamic. Let's say I want that whenever I write anything in the name, so instead of Rohan, that name should come up here and the age should automatically come here. Okay, so to do this, Python has brought a very good concept of f string. Okay, so what we are learning the concept of f string. Okay, so in the comment you can say concept of f string. So this helps to make the data dynamic. Okay, now let's say what we can do. So what I can do is that whatever the name it is, okay, so I can just add that name here instead of Rohan. So for example, let's say if I write like this, instead of Rohan, in the curly brackets you can just write like this, name. Okay, and in the place of age you can just write here age variable. This age variable you can copy it here, paste it here, the name, write it here and put it here. So f string are always used when we use small f like this. Okay, so when you have to add this f, so this f will be added always at the, here you can see, in here, okay, like this in the f. So you can see it has highlighted it. If you remove f, you will see it will become dull. Okay, that means it is not active. Okay, but to make it active, to make it dynamic, you need to add f like this. You can see now it's highlighted. Wow. Okay, so if you now run it, for example, if I run it, you can see automatically it will say my name is Imran and my age is 40. And let's say if I make it something else, maybe let's say 58, run it again. Now this time you can see my name is Imran, my age is 58 because we have changed it here. And let's say instead of Imran, I can say maybe let's say Sina, okay, and age, let's say it's 12 years. And if I run it, you can see my name is Sina, my age is 12. So f string will make the things dynamic for you. Okay, let's go with another example. So this is the name and all. Let's check it out with something else. For example, let's say uh, uh, I can write here one variable, let's say city, or let's say okay, city, okay, where people can just write about their city. Let's say they live in, let's say, New York. Okay, and uh, let's say we can just also mention, let's say, uh, mm, how many, average salary. Okay, average salary people earning. Okay, wait, AVER, average, and I told you that space doesn't work, so just put it like this, underscore. So average salary people can just write here. Okay, let's say whatever the salary is, they can put it here. Now how you can make it dynamic? So again, write print, let's say in the brackets you can just write I live in city. Okay, let's say New York. Okay, and average salary here is, let's say, 83923, like this. Okay, but this is not dynamic. If you clear it up and let's say if you run it, you can see it will print exactly the same thing. Even let's say if I change some number to, let's say, anything else, still it will print the same thing like the previous one. So how you can make it dynamic? So instead of this city, New York, you see here, so we have put this inside the city. Okay, so just copy the city variable, remove the New York, remove it, in the curly brackets add city. Same, instead of average, instead of this number, you can just copy this average salary variable, copy it, instead of this average salary, remove it, in the curly brackets put average salary. Again, problem is that it is not active. Okay, so to make it active, or I can say dynamic, you have to add f. Okay, where to add f? Always it will be added here. Okay, before the quotes. Okay, always remember. So I will going to add f. Now you can see it become dynamic like this. Wow. And let's say if I run it, let's first clear it up. And if I run it, let's say I live in city New York and average salary here is this much. And if I maybe change to, let's say, some other thing, let's say to some other number, instead of New York, let's say let's say in, let's say, Mumbai, like this. And if I run it, so you can see automatically it will say I live in city Mumbai and average salary here is this much. So whatever value you will going to add inside this variable, so this variable will always going to change. So first city will come up over here and average salary will come up over here like this. Okay, very simple and easy. Okay, now this is how the concept of f string works. Okay, and you can also use it, let's say, in the case of input function as well. Okay, for example, let's say you can make it dynamic. For example, let's say here you can see fruits is here. Instead of this, you can write like this. For example, let's say my name is, let's say, Kunal, and I love this fruit, okay, like this. And I love, let's say I love to eat apple, okay, like this. Now instead of this name, okay, Kunal, I can put here, let's say name, okay, in the brackets like this, name. And instead of fruits, okay, you can put here, let's say fruits, like this. Now to make it dynamic, again add F, like this. You can see it become dynamic, it highlighted, okay. Now let's clear it up, run the application. Now you can see it will ask the name, let's say name is, let's say Alex, okay. And what is the favorite fruit of Alex? Let's say cherry. You can see my name is Alex and I love to eat cherry. Wow, just amazing. Okay, so this is where also you can use it. And also you can, do these things, okay. And another thing is that you can add one more thing. For example, let's say you can add, let's say one more factor, let's say age, okay. And you can ask user about input, okay. Let's say we can ask enter your age, okay, like this, question mark, okay. Now you can also add it here, my name is Kunal, age, okay, my age is, let's say in the curly brackets you can write here age, okay, like this. Now if you clear it up, okay, run it, you can see my name is, let's say Leona. Leona favorite fruit is, let's say papaya. And sorry, age, oh sorry, let's clear it up and run it again. Let's say Leona, run the application, let's say Leona, okay. Leona's age is, let's say 34 and Leona loves to eat papaya. So it is like this, my name is Leona, age is 34, and you can see 34 and is very close, so you can put the space properly, so next time it will be printed carefully, okay. But the thing is that always remember this age will be in the numbers, okay. So if you try to see, let's say print the type, let's say if you see the age type, let's say if I run the application, let's say what is your name. So for example, let's say my name is, let's say Fiona age is, let's say 40, and let's say he loves to eat apple. You can see my name is Fiona, age is 40, so this 40 age is considering as a string. So always remember at the top what you can do is that, as I have told you, you can convert that into a number. So age should be always be in the number. So open the bracket in the very first, close the bracket in the last, and just write here int, because int denotes with the number, simple, okay. And now if you just clear it up again and run it, let's say what is the age, let's say age is, let's say Curisha, or let's say Anita, okay. And Anita's age is, let's say 45, and let's say Anita loves to eat mango. Now you can see my name is Anita, age 45, and I love to eat mango. And it is also treating the age as an integer. So make sure that whenever you create the program, be careful with it, okay. So all the concepts which we have learned, same concepts we have taught you, okay, from the type, if you will notice type, and also all these things are now getting connected with each other, and you might understand the things better here, okay. So this is how you can use f string, very useful, okay. Is it possible to add multiple value, like we have here, let's say variable, let's say name. Here we have only put one data type known as string, okay. Similarly, we have created one variable age, and inside this we have put one data type as a integer, that is the number. So is it possible that in one particular curve we can put all these different types of data together? Yes, that is possible using the concept of list. So list basically will going to help you to store, different data types. Okay, so whatever the different data types you have. Okay, so what are the different data types? Whether it could be string, that is the text, number, could be the integer, decimal float, or boolean. So these are the different data types. So if you want to store the different data types inside one variable, so that is possible with the help of list. Let's go with the basics. So there are four type of a list. Okay, one is the normal list, tuple, sets, and dictionary. So list will be open in this bracket, tuple in this, sets in this, and dictionary will be something like key and value. Okay, so now all we're going to do one common task is to help you to store different values, different data types inside one variable. Now there is more difference, but as a now we will not going to focus here. We will going to cover this concept in more broad terms. Okay, but let's see how it works in actual. Okay, so I will just go here and I will just going to write, let's say, list.py. So you all know that we have all this data. Okay, for example, let me copy it. Let's go here, paste it. Let me just remove this one. Okay. Okay, we have a different data type. Now is it possible to do this? Obviously yes. So you can create something. For example, let's say we can create with, let's say, my list name. So I will just going to put my list, okay, equals to, let's say, and I have told you that it should be in the brackets. Okay, so it should be in the big brackets, as you can see here. So just equals, add these big brackets and just add the value. For example, the name. Okay, so it's Kunal. So as it's a text, so always inside the list also it will be inside the quotes. Then my age is 24, comma, I'm married, 59.7, comma, and let's say, am I married? Okay, so I can say here false, like this. Simple. Print, let's say, my list, like this. Let's run it and you can see it will print that for you. Now same concept we have it for the tuple. So if I just go here, instead of my list, I will just going to put here, sorry, wait, next one is the tuple. So tuples will be in the small brackets, right? So my tuple, and it should be in the brackets like this. Okay, that's the only difference. It should be in these brackets. Okay, and you can just print my tuple like this. Same, you can just go ahead, okay, with this one. And next one we have here is the sets. Okay, it's in curly brackets. So I can just write here my underscore sets equals to, it will be in curly brackets, so just put curly bracket and paste the content. Simple. Now we have a my dictionary. Okay, so my dictionary equals to, now thing is that you might be thinking, okay, dictionary and sets both are in the curly brackets. Okay, so if you will going to notice, we are both my sets and my dictionary in the curly brackets. Okay, as you can see here, very clear, both are in the curly brackets. So what's the difference in the dictionary and all? So guys, in the dictionary you can also put the, key and the value. Now here you can see in the dictionary you can put the key and the value. Key is basically the will be in the left side, and value is what is stored inside that key. For example, here you can see name will be considered as a key, and Kunal, because this is something which is stored inside this particular variable or a key. So this name will be considered as a key, and inside this key we have a value as a Kunal. Age is a key in the terms of dictionary. Okay, I'm teaching. Okay, so age is a key and 24 is a number. Weight is a key and 59.7 is a value. So dictionary will contain both key and value, and in between both of them you have this colon. Okay, let's see how it works. So for example, here you can see it's Kunal. Okay, so wait, let me just start you from the scratch. I will remove it. Let's say first is the name, so I will just going to write name. So name is the key. okay, and then after the name I will put the colon. And why I have put it? Because it's a text, so I will put it in the quotes like this, and colon, and then my name is what? It's Kunal. Wow. Then comma. So this will become one pair. You can see this will become one pair, okay, which contains both key and the value. Similarly, here we have another thing, which is the I guess age, right? So age, again age is a text, so I will put that in the quotes, then colon, then my age is 24, comma, then we have a weight, so its weight is a text. I will put that in the text, and my weight is, let's say, 59.7, simple. And then comma, am I married? Married, question mark. Okay, am I married? Then in the colon you can just write false, like this. So you can see the dictionary contains pair. This is the first pair that contains the key, name, and Kunal as a value. Then second one is another pair which again contains the key and the value, where age is a key and 24 is a value, and as age is a text, so it has put in the quotes, okay, and so on. So this is the dictionary. So that's the only difference between the my sets and dictionary. Of course there are more differences between all the lists, but as a beginner you should not too much go inside it for now. We will going to cover all of them afterwards. And here my sets, and here you can print, let's say, my dictionary as well. You can see all can get, you know, printed over here, okay, like this. If you clear it up, let's run it, you can see like this, very simple, easy, okay. And now to make it dynamic, you can say it like this, okay. Inside it you can say like this, okay. This is, okay, in the curly brackets you can put the my list like this. This is, you know, uh, list like this, okay. By the way, you can see at the bottom it has printed in the big brackets, you know, in the small brackets, curly brackets, and dictionary are printed in the key and the value. Also you can write like this, print this is my list. And to make it dynamic, first make it put under the quotes, right. I'm using this concept of, you know, your f string, okay. So you remember f string, we put the quotes, and whatever that is, we put that in the curly brackets, and at the end we add f. So that is what I'm trying to do. If I put here f, okay, same thing you can do here as well, okay, with all the things. But let's run it. Now you can see this is list, okay, you can see. So this is the thing also you can do. And another thing is that you can also come to know about any type. For example, let's say if you want to print, okay, and let's say you want to see what is the type of, let's say, my dictionary, okay. So it can also tell you the type if you run it. So you can say it's a dictionary, okay, like this. So same concepts which we are using here, we're going to apply here in the list as well. But the thing, the main concept, the main, you know, top concept is that in one variable you can store different data types. So here you can see we created one variable, okay, which is my list, and inside this you can see I used multiple data type. Again I use my tuple, I again added multiple data types. So whatever different list you use, all will going to help you to store multiple data types inside one variable, okay. But there are of course differences, we will going to cover that later on, but this is what the concept is for now for you, okay. Now the very final thing we will going to focus for now as a beginner is about the operators. Operators are what? You might have studied plus, minus, multiply, divide, okay, power, that is known as, you know, exponential, okay. Then we have floor division, modulus. Now all these things are common. What is this exponential, okay. So you might have heard about 2 to the power 4. So we multiply 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, that means 2 multiplied by 4 times, 1 2 3 4, okay. Like here we have 3 to the power 2, so that means 3 just multiply them 2 times, okay. So 3 into 3, okay. So this is the uh, power 1, okay. And you might be know that what is the floor division. Floor division means whenever you divide something, let's say 7, if we divide it by 2, So 3 2s are 6, so 7 6, so 7 minus 6 is 1. So here this 3 will be considered as a floor division, and whatever you will going to left as a here it will be considered as a modulus. So that is the modulus, it is the floor division. Very simple. Let's just go ahead and let's understand the basics. Operators dot py. Okay, very simple. Let's I create, let's say a equals to, let's say 5, b equals to, let's say 2. Okay, now let's do that. Okay, for example, let's say if I just write here result, okay, let's say equals to a plus b, and let's say if I print result like this, if I clear it, what will going to happen? Very simple. If I run the application, a plus b, that means the result is a plus b. So a is 5, b is 2, 5 plus 2, it's 7. So you can see you got the answer. Also you can do this as well. For example, you can directly write like this, print, okay, a plus b. So this is how even you can do. So you will going to get the same answer. So that's totally up to you how you want it. Okay, this is a plus. Now how you can do minus, just put here, let's say minus. So a minus b, you can see 3, just multiply it. So use asterisk sign, multiply. So you will going to get 5 2s are 10. Okay, just divide 5 divided by 2. How, what you will going to get? So you can see 2.5 you will going to get. Okay, so this is a divide. Power, like I want, let's say 5 to the power 2, so 5 5s are 25. Okay, so to add the power you will going to use this asterisk 2 times. Okay, 2 times, no space, continue like here, 1 2 direct. Okay, no space between them, run it, 5 5s are 25. Simple. Let's say you want to know the floor division, that means after dividing what we have here as a division. Okay, so for that use 2 slash like this. We have here, wait, like this, sorry. Okay, simple, run it, you will going to get 2. Okay, because 5 divided by 2, so 2 2s are 4, right? So if you will going to see here, what will going to happen? Very simple, nothing complicated. Okay, so here we have a 5, here we have a 2, so 2 2s are 4 minus 1. Okay, so here this 2 is nothing, just a floor division, and this is what the result we have got here. Simple. And last one we have this division, that is the percentage. Do not confuse with the percentage. Okay, it's modulus. Okay, so the reminder you will going to get that as a answer. Okay, like this. Let's say divide it, let's run it. You can see you will going to get 1 as a reminder. So this is nothing, just the operators which you can also perform in the Python. Okay, so now guys, what's next? Okay, after you have learned the basics, now you have to visit to this nodes. Okay, now you can just do one thing, is that you can just search for KuKu courses, go to kukucourses.com, this first link. Okay, and after you go ahead here, just go to extras, go to blocks, and here just type learn to code Python. Okay, so, okay, learn to code Python. Okay, just click and search for it. You will see this one, learn to code Python for beginners. So whatever we have taught you, each and everything has been given to you in form of notes, and these notes you can watch, like what is programming, every example which we have covered, the same things has been taught to you. Okay, so by that time you will come here, so one video will be added here as well, and you can see this particular uh, uh, course is considered as a part 1. Okay, where we have covered the basics like programming Python, installation of Python, data types, variables, type function, user input function, right? Type conversion, where we taught you how to convert things. Okay, f strings, operators, list. So these are the things we have covered for you. Okay, So if you want to go ahead and see the nodes, okay, of it, you can just visit it. Like data types, we have text, number, decimal, like hello, like this string, integer, and so on. Variables, what are variables? Okay, cup holding water. So same examples we have given over here. Make sure you go ahead and learn it, like f string, kunal. So okay, so everything has been given you in the form of a notes, so you can consider this. And what about the another lesson? Okay, so you can see here, learn to code Python part 2, where we will going to cover about, I guess, operators. But whatever it is, part 2 will come soon. Okay, so maybe the time when you will going to visit to this blog, so that time all will be added, like part 2, part 3, and so on. But currently for this course we have created till part 1. Okay, so make sure that you follow our website, come here, part 1, which you are watching right now, this course. So here that video will be attached here, okay, which this same course you are watching. And similarly for the part 2, okay, so at the very top maybe you will see one more video will be added, so that will be the continuation of part 1. Okay, so whatever you have learned, everything will be covered here in the part 2. And in the part 2 video, when we will going to uh, upload it here in this blog, so at that time we will going to tell in the part 2 that to watch part 1, okay, which you have which you are right now watching, as a base. Okay, this will be considered as a base, so make sure you follow this blog, and make sure that after some time visit to this particular blog, okay, every single time. Or you can just go ahead and go to our newsletter, okay, and sign up. You will going to get notified whenever the new part will going to come. Okay, but make sure that you guys follow this blog, because part 2 will be also uploaded over here in the form of a video and notes. So make sure you follow along with that. Okay, so this is what I want to tell you. Okay, now guys, one more thing which I want to talk about is the developer kit. So just search on your browser KuKu courses, go to kukucourses.com. This is the website you have to go, and here you will see something known as library. Okay, so you can click on it. If you go to the library here, so we have something known as premium library in our website. So whatever you do in the Python programming and all, so for that you can see we have a powerful developer kit that will going to have lots of things like 100 plus Python interview questions, which are straightforward. If you just follow these interview questions, you will going to crack any interview. Okay, everything is very powerful. Okay, like Visual Studio shortcodes, okay, and plenty of things we have added, like 200 plus Python project and many more, like 300 plus AI tools and plenty of other things. Okay, so what I suggest you guys, okay, to just go ahead and check the library. If you are really, serious about your future, so you can just grab our developer kit. Okay, not only developer kit, you will going to get creative prompts as well. Okay, code snippet, video editing resources, okay, and plenty of other things. Okay, so make sure that you explore the library. Throughout the time we add more and more content, make sure you must have access to all of them. Okay, so this is what I wanted to teach you guys. Okay, so just make sure that you grab this library. It will really going to help you out. Okay, so this is what I want to tell you. So if you are serious, grab the library. It will really going to help you out. Okay.